Hello.
Hello.
Is it my turn to ask a question?
Yes, it is. What's your name?
I'm Andrew.
What?
Andrew.
Andrew. Hi.
I met you yesterday.
Yes.
We talked about you being the first to ever play Nyssa, because she's pretty much like that forgotten daughter. So how did you find the inspiration to play Nyssa the way you play her?
I had an angry childhood. So, I just channeled. I don't know. You know, it's funny. I don't think I have too much in common with Nyssa. You know, people are always like, "What do you have in common with your character?" And I'm not sure that there's too much. I think that she's really cool though. So, like, I think it's fascinating to think of a person who is so completely submissive to their father. And basically, I mean, I'm an Asian daughter, so I have a little bit of that to my mother, but there's like still a rebellious side. But I can't imagine just being like wholeheartedly, go kill that person. Okay, go do this. Okay, I don't know what that means. I've never had that in my life. So I think it's fascinating to be able to, or try to imagine what that would be like, to just look at somebody with such reverence, to be like, okay, yes, whatever you tell me to do. And I think it's like almost like a type of brainwashing. And then also, I very much see the world in gray, and I think most of us do, where there's no finite right or wrong or black and white, and there's always room for interpretation. Whereas, like, even if you look at the United States or law, like, there's always room for interpretation. Whereas in League of Assassins, in the way that Nyssa grew up, it is right or wrong, life or death. There is no in between. And again, I don't know what that means, so it's really interesting and kind of fun to be able to be like, how would that feel to live that day with such security? To know that this is right and that's wrong, and not have to be like, well, maybe, I can see your side, I can see, so they have that completely wiped away and just be like, no, you're wrong, you die. You know, you're good, I'll let you live today. But do you know what I mean? Like, what would that feel like? And it's kind of crazy, because if you actually channel that, there's so much power in it, that it does get scary, and you kind of realize that people that do see things in black and white, why they would never give that up to want to compromise, because it's losing power. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe think about it. You sit at home tonight and you think about that.
Next.
You got it. All right, who's next?
Hello.
Hey.
Oh wow, this is loud. Okay. So I'm sure you get asked this question a lot, but if you were to actually become one of your characters, like in the real world, who would you be?
I think it would probably be Nyssa. I love that girl. Like I said, I don't think I would give up this life to become something less powerful. So if I could be this assassin ninja that kind of walks around and nobody messes with, and I'm just like, rah, I don't care, and do what I want. I think that would be a lot of fun. Yes. Oh, you go. You work it, John. You work it. You work it. Oh, take out his feet. Take out his knees. What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
That is,
I know, it's a little scary.
I actually don't have a question. So I say I was sitting in the bar yesterday, and you came walking through, and I kind of stalked you and stopped you. And we're like, hey!
I mean, just like a minor stalking. It's fine. It's fine.
And we took a couple of selfies, and I immediately posted them on Facebook, and now all my buddies are jealous. So I just want to thank you.
That's a true friend right there. You make those friends jealous.
After I stalked you, I had to compliment you.
Hi there. Hello. By the way, this one over here taught me how to do a deadpan bitch face stare. And let me tell you, she's a scary woman. Do not mess with her. This one,
She
redhead.
wanted to be with a certain person, and she doesn't get to be with him all the time. You have to be mean to people.
I can kind of do it. It's like, I can't do it.
I have photo evidence that you can do it.
It was really, she caught it in that 1 second. Anyway, it's a life lesson. If you want to intimidate people, maintain eye contact until they look away.
Yes, you can have them away first.
All right. She scares me. Okay. Hello.
Hi. So, huge fan of Arrow. Absolutely love Nyssa. She's my favorite. And The way she was introduced was really interesting, with her and Sarah just sort of like staring at each other, and you're like anticipating a fight, and then they make out. It was great. But,
Yeah, my husband thought it was great too.
no, but their relationship is great, and the diversity that Nyssa and Sarah bring, Sarah being bi as far as we know, and Nyssa being gay, that's incredibly important to people of the LGBTQ community to see themselves represented on screen. And Nyssa is such a well-developed character, and I just want to thank you for bringing that diversity to the screen. Really appreciate it. It means so much, you have no idea. But as far as an actual question, will you do a little Snapchat video with me?
Yeah. Oh, you get to take the Bob chair.
That's gonna stick. That will always be the Bob chair.
The Bob chair. Forever and always. See, you've coined a new phrase. What are we doing?
I don't know. Do you want to just say hi?
Okay. What was your name? And her name is Amelia, okay? Ready? Hi, Snapchat. We're with Amelia right now. Everybody wants to say hi to you. Okay, but I do want to say something. You can just say the Bob chat. So one of the beautiful things about Arrow that I really appreciate is, one, they have some really strong female characters, and I really, really dig that they write for us, that we get to fight not only for the men in our lives, which is usually what the purpose of women in any kind of film or television is for, but we also get to fight for justice and freedom and equality and all these different things. And those are the things that normally the men get to fight for, and then we, the women, therefore support the men. That's a totally different tangent that had nothing to do with that. But anyway, I really appreciate Arrow for that. The other thing that I really appreciate Arrow writers for, and producers, is that when they introduce Nyssa and Sarah, one of the things that's always happened is that if there is any kind of relationship or person that is considered an outsider, they always have to have a backstory as to why they're gay, why they happen to be the black person showing up on this white screen, why they're the Asian person coming into this white world, or what, like, yeah, they always have a backstory, they always have an explanation. And the beautiful thing about the lesbian and the bisexual character coming together on Arrow, they never explained it. They just kind of did it, and they were like, this is who they are, this is the relationship, this is what they're doing, end of story. And I love that, because it doesn't need an explanation. And I just really appreciate that, and I think it is a really great way to represent the LGBT community, because they just did it justice, because it is what it is, and it's totally perfectly fine, so, cool. Where we at, John? Oh, hey. Oh, hey, wait, what's your name, Lance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo! My question is, as a huge Spartacus fan, devastated when it wasn't canceled, but it kind of ended. Devastated. It's really weird how all of you guys have been popping up on Arrow and Flash. I just want to know, what's the correlation with that? Is there like casting directors over there? Or?
No, you know what, I think
Or is
that
it just,
the producers of Arrow and Flash were just really big Spartacus fans.
just coincidence?
I think that's it, and I also think they were huge Doctor Who fans.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of our characters kind of came from them, and you know, I will say, even though Spartacus was a television show, I think that every single character on there had star quality. Like every single person like popped, and I feel like every single person on there would have been able to maintain their own show because they had so much charisma, and I think that's one of the reasons why Spartacus was such a great show. And the same thing about Doctor Who, like obviously they're carrying their own show, but so it's really just nice to see that my fellow castmates are being recognized for their amazing talent. And I know Peter Mensa just booked a pilot that got picked up. Nick Tara Bay is on The Expanse. Ellen Holman is doing a movie right now with the dude from Justified. Cynthia Dye Robinson, who is the second Navia, just got her own show on Shooter. So everybody's kind of working. Anna Hutchinson is now working with Nick Cage. So there's all sorts of stuff going on with the Spartacus crew, so I'm really proud of them.
Hi, Katrina.
Oh, here's
Here's a fun question. You've probably been asked this before. Between you and Steven, who's the better archer?
Me.
I'll give him this though. Real life Steven for sure, hands down, because he actually practices a lot. Like I said, he can do all of his own stuff. He's the real deal. But I think character-wise, I think when we first started, I think Oliver would. No, I think Nyssa was probably superior to Oliver. But then with all of his training that he got throughout the different people, I think he probably ousted her a little bit. And then also when she spent so many months in the dungeon, essentially starving herself and not eating and not training and not fighting on a daily basis, I think she did lose just a little bit of her skills. So.
Hi, Katrina. Wow,
What's
that's
up?
loud. Have they talked to you at all about being in season 5? And if so, I'm sure there's no story arcs talked about season 5, but what would you like to see with your character explore next season? Because she's not with the League of Assassins anymore.
Well, I'm not really supposed to give out any spoilers, but I'll give you this one little thing. So in the last episode, I die. And then in episode 1, I come back as a zombie. And I essentially hunt Steven, Oliver. And then when I get Oliver's blood, I turn into a unicorn. Don't tell anybody though, this is top secret between all of us, okay? Just keep it here. What happens in Detroit stays in Detroit. How we doing? Oh, hey!
Hi.
You have that name. What's your name?
What is it?
I don't know.
It's Ibrahim. Ibrahim.
Ibrahim.
Yeah, it's like
Love it.
Abraham, but it's
But
Arabic.
I don't have to work that hard. That's what we were talking about earlier.
I
I was
mean,
trying to say his name
you
earlier.
do speak Arabic in Arrow, so.
Yeah, fluently. It's my jam.
Okay, so I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One is, what is the secret behind your positive energy? Because you have this. Because you're always smiling and you're always happy. And is there like a code that you live by, or is there? So is there a story behind it or anything like that? And then the second question is, are you gonna play a character that is as nice as the real person that you are? Because you always play like mean and violent characters.
I had a very angry childhood. It's just like bubbles to the surface. I'm very fortunate that I've gotten to do 2 Hallmark movies, for like 2 Christmas movies for Hallmark. And say what you will, I love Hallmark. I love the channel. I love their movies. I love that you can just put them on repeat for 24 hours a day during the holiday season, and you just feel great at the end of them. There's always a happy ending. It's great. I love it. And I think why I love doing them so much is that when I go on them and I'm performing on them, it's such a bizarre experience because there is no blood, there is no punching, there's no violence, nobody dies. I get my guy or girl at the end of it. It's Hallmark, so it's always going to be a guy. You never know. But I get my man at the end, whereas they did everything else, they always die, or I die. And I'm like, So I love doing those because I do get to be happy and goofy and run around and kind of be an idiot and kind of a little true to my real self. I'm very fussy. I do get to do this, and I would love to continue on with like Christmas movies or like light romantic comedies because it is a completely different side and it's fun. I think I'm like anybody else when it comes to being happy. I have my moods. My husband sees them a lot, especially during a certain time of the month. So. I try, but sometimes like he's gonna die and he doesn't even know it. Like breathing, it's insane. But I just feel like, especially when you come to things like this, we're so lucky that we have time in our day to come either participate or be a guest speaker or to do anything at a convention like this. And the fact that we can come here and it's safe and we can kind of play and become our favorite characters and talk to some of the people that we admire on television or the artists and stuff like that. We're so lucky in so many aspects. So I think that if I were coming to visit somebody and I was really looking forward to seeing them, I would want a certain experience, so that's what I try to give people. And not that I'm putting on a front, but I do know that I've had experiences where I've seen somebody who was a hero of mine. I'm like, oh my God, that person was in blah, and I go up and meet them, and they're kind of like, oh, and I'm like, oh. And it shatters it for me, and I'm like, oh, I can't actually watch that show anymore. Like this pedestal that you were on is kind of like not so great anymore. So there's that. But then also I just think life is just too short to be miserable. It's just way too short, and there's so many bad things happening. So if you can check us out, put it in there. Why not? It's easy. So I think that's that.
This video is sponsored by the KA-Razy Kings of Toys. Check them out for all your toy needs and find out why they are so crazy. Find them at Amazon, eBay, BrickLink, and Facebook. Links are in the description. Toxic Pop has a new Facebook page. Like it to see pictures and keep informed about our upcoming events and videos. A link is in the description. Go to www.facebook.com/toxicpop1.